to me, boy. Go, go, go. Yeah. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Hello everybody and welcome to another eSTRO against Foreigners match. I am Artosis and I will be showing off a couple players today. First off we have Fukashigi. Yeah, it looks like some sort of Japanese word, which means that we are watching KawaiiRice. He is the young American Terran player, only 16 years old, made it to the US finals, a member of Pandemic, and actually a really strong up-and-coming Terran player in the scene. Doesn't get a whole lot of attention, but you know, he made it into the qualifying stages of the TSL, you know, not the top 16, no, but he did a pretty good job. A very young Terran, a lot of potential in him, and he is actually someone I'm pretty excited about because he thinks about the game a lot differently. He does not just copy stuff, he actually thinks of a lot of things. He figured out, for instance, the KawaiiRice move against Plague, where your medics will not heal your Marines, yet they will follow them. You press M and then you click on the Marines, and even pro gamers don't know to do that. So anyways, a lot of moves. I talk with this kid a lot about various strategy things. He gives me all these different little ideas that he has, and a lot of moves he comes up with are really intelligent. So, you know, I have high hopes for this kid in the future, especially with StarCraft 2 coming out. Now, his opponent, this is someone who I did not want to have any games. This is actually the worst eSTRO Zerg. We saw Ghosty Terran play against 45 Name, who's actually quite a strong Zerg on eSTRO. Not the worst by any means. This, in fact, is the worst Zerg. I'm not sure exactly how much worse he is than 45 Name, but I am assured that this is the worst Zerg on eSTRO. So anyways, this guy is a complete and utter piece of shit. This is eSTRO.Void, the kid who lied about Rhett leaking replays from eSTRO, got Rhett into a ton of trouble, really screwed up Rhett's stay here. Just a complete piece of garbage. I hope that this kid's entire StarCraft career fails. He doesn't deserve to play this beautiful game. Anyways, this piece of garbage will be taking on KawaiiRice. Everyone else was busy helping the A-teamers practice for Pro League and whatnot. So this was the only Zerg I had available. KawaiiRice wanted to go against a Zerg. It is his best matchup. So here we are. You know, I'd rather have a match against a piece of garbage and just let everyone know that it is a piece of garbage and we hope to see him lose, rather than not have a match. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on now that I've introduced the players. eSTRO.Void down here going for an expansion into 2 hatchery play. KawaiiRice harassing with his SCV. And KawaiiRice has gone for a barracks expansion. He made the 2 depots. It looks like, I guess he just didn't scout quite quick enough. Normally, if you scout them first, you do not make that second depot. But there was a drone in his base, so when the drone's up there, it is totally reasonable to make that second depot to get a Marine out before your command center, so you don't have to chase the drone around with an SCV. So, you know, so far so good. We see very standard play from KawaiiRice here, making that second barracks. That's going to allow him to get some extra Marines up, and maybe pressure before we see mutas popping out, but we'll have to see if that's what he's going for here. Now, eSTRO.Void making a decent amount of Zerglings. He definitely wants to kill off this SCV, and he has gone for the layer at the expansion. He hasn't transferred any drones as of yet, which is kind of interesting. I think the obvious reason is he has 1 drone per mineral patch here, so that actually is good play. You know, he has perfect mining here, basically. Why spend minerals sending drones up? And down here at KawaiiRice's base, he's making that bunker. Some Zerglings on the way, looks about 8 of them, but if KawaiiRice gets his bunker up, puts his Marines in, he'll be totally fine against that. Now we do have the Academy started, over halfway done. And the Zerglings see that bunker and must retreat. Now, KawaiiRice, he has some really interesting builds against 2 hatchery Mutalisk. I've seen some really cool play from him before. For instance, if it's an all-in 2 hatchery Mutalisk, I've seen him go Marine Medic into Valkyrie, which is really interesting and really cool to see. You never really see that. Normally you'll see them either go into you know, Wraith to counter the Guardian that's coming, or just Science Vessels to use a Radiate. But it's kind of a weird, different timing to go for Valks, and it can be quite strong. I've seen him do that against some other top Americans like LZ Gamer and Machine with pretty good results. So, you know, this kid, he is pretty good at this matchup, the Terran versus Zerg. His other two matchups, not quite as good. Now we see KawaiiRice is a little bit scared here. This is actually too scared. Losing a lot of mining time with these 5 SCVs, and there's not really that many Zerglings. 9 left, it looks like. Yeah, 9 left. And there we go, he pulls some back, but definitely enough Marines here, especially if he leaves them kind of right here on the ramp so the bunker will reach, even if the Zerglings try to run by. And now that he has the medics, I think he's going to realize, yeah, you can send these SCVs back. Let's take a look at eSTRO.Void here. He's got his Spire almost done, the Overlord just hatching, so he's going to have enough supply. There should be another larva sticking out pretty soon. Even though this guy is a piece of garbage, obviously he's on a pro team, he knows the build orders. And a perfectly timed scan, sees those eggs going up just as the Spire finishes. So his economy's looking fine. He's had a drone over here for a little bit, it looks like. Ready to take this third base when the time is appropriate. Now KawaiiRice getting his turrets up just in time. Good play so far. We have the +1 going. The range is probably going right there. And just spreading out some turrets. So he's just going to have to use his Marine Medic to support the turrets here. And I'm a little bit scared about this expansion. It looks like it's going to be a little bit open with only 2 turrets up here so far. But it is a 2 hatchery needleless build, so he can get the additional turrets a little bit slower. You know, you see he's just adding more and more now. You don't need to make every turret you need right at the beginning, because obviously they start with less mutas than they're going to end up with. And we see this is a nice little line of defense right here. It's not going to be able to really penetrate. Second turret going up, I like that. It's kind of helping block this ramp area. You do not want to be microing the Marines down ramps against, that SCS, against mutas that have free reign on the ramp. That's not a good area for Marine Medic. And we'll just have to see how well he can defend against these mutas. And I suspect that we're going to see completely standard play out of Void. I don't see the Hydralisk Den quite yet. So, you know, who knows? Maybe we're not going to see exactly how 35 nameplate every game, which was just basically taking the third base reasonably quick and getting lurkers out and just transitioning, which is nowadays pretty standard for most Zerg players against Terran. So we see some additional turrets going up, and this is actually really good play that we're seeing so far. Notice he's just adding turrets more and more throughout. Didn't make them all at once. He just, you know, KawaiiRice knows that, alright, what I have to do is not, you know, waste every mineral. I need to keep my Marine production up, keep my supply depots up, keep my tech going, keep my SCVs going, and thus just add turrets as I can afford them where they fit, basically. So here we go. Now he's finally going to attack this expansion, which is defended, you know, not quite as well as what we saw in the main base, but still a pretty decent defense. KawaiiRice Marine Medic coming out here and going to try to keep these mutas away a bit, and the muta's not doing the best job in the whole world. See some overlords going over here, probably to switch out with some control. And let's see. The Hydralisk Den is done. We have some Hydras popping out, so he's going to switch over lurkers. And KawaiiRice, let's see what you're doing. Alright, he's got the factory, starting the starport. No add-on on the factory yet. And these mutas do a decent amount of damage, really. You know, they're whittling down the Marine Medic force, they're killing a decent amount of SCVs. But, you know, it's not like KawaiiRice is dead by any means. Hopefully he can get out on the map a little bit before the lurkers are in place. Additional muta coming up to join. And here come the Hydras. Being turned into lurkers as we see. Zerglings over here, more lurkers over there. These lurkers are probably going to be used for defense, maybe over here. Maybe just they're going to go up and join and do a big contain. If he can get up here before KawaiiRice moves out with Marine Medic, then obviously it's better to just have the lurkers over here as a containment strategy. Now we do have the add-on a tank is making. Science facility going up, add-on for starport going up. And everything looks pretty well defended. You know, these mutas are damaged reasonably much. So it looks like they are not going to, you know, be able to go in and counterattack the main enemy. Probably just chill with the lurkers for now and help out against these Marine Medics. You know, kind of keep them busy, whittle them down as best you can. So now we see all 7 of the lurkers are up here. The Marine Medic not really out on the map, so there we go. This is a very important part of the game.